go back to the land of black. What's the land of black? Africa, right? Now, Africa's got 54 countries. What country do I go to? I'm asking you a simple question, but I'm showing you something that we don't all know. Good. That's what I'm saying. There's 54 countries. Ain't it funny that we, the only people, don't know where we come from? Like you line up, you say God, the Bible don't have no color, but I can line up a white person right now, so-called white person. He gonna say, I'm like, what's your nationality? He's gonna say, I'm Irish American or German American. They know. How do we? Why don't we know?
Precept. A lot of us wasn't taught, brother.
We wasn't taught.
Yeah, people couldn't read back then. They wouldn't allow you to read.
Right. But what happened? Because before, say before that, right? How do we? Before that, we knew, and something happened, and now we don't know.
Right.
So what happened? What's that middle part? That's why we don't know. What's that middle part? What happened? That's good. Let me show you somebody that don't know, just like us, right? Good. Isaiah.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 1, verse 3. The ox knoweth his
The
owner,
ox is a dumb animal, but he knows his
and
own.
the ass his master's crib. But
But who?
Israel do not know. My people do not
God's
consider.
people don't consider.
Right.
Ain't that funny how the Israelites don't know and they don't consider, and we don't know, and before we just stopped you, you didn't even consider?
Right.
Ain't that funny that it's similar? That's crazy, right? Go to Deuteronomy. You heard of Moses, right? Now Moses split the Red Sea. Who did he bring out of Egypt? Israel, right? Brought the Israelites out of Egypt. Watch who he did. Deuteronomy 1:1.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan, in the wilderness.
So he took the Israelites out of Egypt, right? Give me Exodus chapter 3, verse 10, right quick. Show you, because God sent Moses in them to take them out.
The book of Exodus, chapter 3, verse 10. Come now, therefore, and I will send thee unto Pharaoh.
So God sent Moses to Pharaoh, right?
That thou mayest bring forth my people, the children of Israel, out of Egypt.
Brought them out of Egypt. So he brought them to the wilderness. So when you bring a group of people out of Egypt, you got to give them laws, you got to give them statutes, you got to give them commandments, so they can form a nation, right?
That's right.
Look what he told them.
Deuteronomy 1:1.
28 and 1.
Deuteronomy 28:1.
Watch what he told them.
And this shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
They should listen.
to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
So he said if they listen, God was going to put them above all nations of the earth.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy
He
God,
said if they don't listen,
to observe, to do all his commandments, and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses,
All these what?
all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
so he said they listen, they'll be above. If they don't get it, they're going to get curses. Let's see what we chose.
This is Daniel chapter 9, verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law,
So they broke it. They took the curse, right?
even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured up upon us,
right.
and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. And he had confirmed his words,
Confirmed his word. He made it come to pass.
which he spake it against us, and against our judges that judge us, by bringing upon us a great evil.
A great evil.
For under the whole heaven had not been done as had been done upon Jerusalem.
Upon Israel. So he said nobody suffered more than the Israelites. So what's the worst thing ever happened to any nation of people on the face of this planet? What's the worst thing? Yeah, we
all here.
say we all
That's part
suffer.
of our walk.
No, listen what I'm asking you.
I'm saying out of everything they read, it still ain't said nothing about
I'm building up to
Jesus
something.
being
Don't-
a certain color.
No. We ain't even talking about Jesus right now. We're talking about who you are.
That's
You
right.
need to find out who you are.
That's right.
So what I'm asking you is, out of all nations, who suffered the worst out of all different nations on this planet?
Straight up.
They got the so-called white man, which the Bible calls the Edomites.
Right.
They got us, they got Chinese, they got Japanese, they got all. Who suffered more than anybody? Because that's what it just said. It says, under the whole heaven has not been done, has been done upon Jerusalem or Israel. Who suffered the worst?
So you saying Israelite, like, of course.
We're going to prove it. Go to Deuteronomy. Let me go back to the curse. Read 15 again, then jump to 68.
This is the book of Deuteronomy,
Go
chapter
to Gentile.
Gentiles are several. That just means nations. There's a bunch of nations. That's a bunch of nations.
We were Gentiles when we started following them. You know what I mean?
Read that.
That's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Read 68.
Cursed shall thou be in the city.
68.
Verse
Read
68.
that last curse. So this is going to seal a deal for you who you are.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt
He
again.
said the Lord going, one of the curses is the Lord going to bring you into Egypt again. Show him what Egypt means.
This is Exodus chapter 20,
Verse 2.
verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt,
Brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
out of the house of bondage.
So he's calling Egypt house of bondage or slavery. So when he's saying that, that's what he's talking about. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt
He
again
said the Lord going to bring you in the house of bondage or slavery again.
with
He
ships,
said, but this time you're going on cargo slave ships.
by the way whereof I spake unto thee.
He said, by the same way I'm telling you, it's the same way it's going to happen.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
He said, you're not going to see your homeland anymore either.
And there
Once you got off them slave ships,
ye shall be sold unto your
he
enemies
said, you're going to get off them ships and you're going to be sold to your enemies
for bondmen
a slave man
and bondwomen,
and slave woman,
and no man shall buy
and
you.
no man's going to redeem you.
Teaching, brother.
Who that happened to? You didn't know that was in there. I know. I can see it in your face.
Right, right.
Yeah, I got you. Jump to 54.
Verse 54.
Check this curse out.
So that the man that is tender among you
Man, that's cool with you.
and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil toward his brother,
Said one of the curses, his eyes gonna be evil towards his brother.
and toward the wife of his
He
bosom,
gonna hate his wife.
and toward the remnant of his
He gonna hate
children,
his children.
which he shall
And
lead.
he gonna leave the house and let them fend for themselves. That's one of the curses.
That's right.
Give me 37.
Verse 37.
Give me 32 first. And then 30.
Verse
I'm just jumping
32.
through them curses. Them curses only fit us.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people,
One of the curses, our sons and daughters gonna be given to another people.
and thy eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. And there shall be no might in thy hand.
Wow. Give me 50,
43.
45. Start at
Y'all read
44.
all that under the old law.
So did it
It's showing
change?
you what happened to us back in the Old Testament. Then you'll understand who the children of Israel is once you get in the New Testament. You know what I'm saying?
How many gates are there to heaven? Showing you, I'm gonna just prove how many gates are there to heaven. Should be one, right? If it's for heaven for everybody.
Church
right?
teach. Got it?
Start at 10.
This is Revelation 12, verse 10.
21, 10.
Revelation 21, verse 10. And he carried me away in the spirit to a great and high mountain,
This is John on the island of Patmos, right?
and showed me that great city, the holy Jerusalem, descending out of heaven from God.
Showing you that we're not going to live off in the clouds. We're going to live right here on earth. Verse 12.
Verse 12. And had a wall great and high,
They had a wall great and high.
and had 12 gates.
How many gates?
12 gates. And at the gates 12
They
angels.
had an angel at each one of those entrances.
And the names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel.
Why all the way at the end of the book is still talking about these 12 tribes of the children of Israel?
Right, bro.
This is in the New Testament. You can't get more New Testament than Revelation.
That's right.
Give me Paul. Give me Romans chapter 11 verse start at 1. Let's see what Paul says.
Romans chapter 11, verse 1. I say then, had God cast away his people? God forbid.
Paul said, hell no, he didn't cast away his people, right?
For I also am an Israelite,
So Paul said, I'm also an Israelite.
of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin.
Why is Paul still repping his nationality? This in the New Testament.
Right.
What do we, give me Romans 9. Let's see if anything changed. Check this out.
This is Romans.
Start at 1.
This is Romans 9, verse 1. I say the truth in Christ, I lie not.
This is Paul.
My conscience also bearing me witness in the Holy Ghost, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren,
Watch who his brethren is.
my
His
kinsmen,
brethren,
according to the flesh,
according to the flesh, so it ain't no spiritual thing.
who are Israelites.
Who are they?
Who are Israelites.
This is in the New Testament. Keep going.
To who pertaineth the adoption
He said, who pertaineth? Pertaineth means belong to. Who belongs to adoption? That's getting adopted back to the Father.
and the glory,
the kingdom of heaven belongs to the Israelites.
and the covenants,
The covenants, old and new covenant, belongs to the Israelites.
and the giving of the
The
law,
laws were only given to the Israelites.
and the service of
The
God,
only service of the Israelites.
and the promises,
The promises, all these promises belong to the Israelites.
whose are the fathers,
Who are our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came.
He said Christ only came for the Israelites. That's in Romans 9.
So what y'all is
God never gave us no religion. He gave us our nationalities. He gave us laws to keep. That's why we don't remember. What happened was slavery happened. There you go. Get a brother slide. God gave us, he never gave us a religion. He gave us laws to keep, but we didn't remember it because of slavery. And they beat that. Give me Psalms 83. We'll show you what happened. The Bible gives you all the answers. That's why we don't know who we are, and everybody else know who they are. And a lot of them know who we are.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83, verse 1.
Check this out.
Keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult,
He said, thy enemies make a tumult. A tumult is like an angry gathering, right?
and they that hate thee have lifted up thy
They
head.
became proud. He said, those that hate God have lifted up their head, meaning they became proud. Right?
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people,
He said they taking crafty or sneaky counsel against us, right?
and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Uh-huh.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a
So
nation,
they all came together and said, come, let's cut them off from being a nation
that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
so they don't never remember who they are, right?
That's right.
Go ahead.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
Meaning they all came and they agreed.
They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom.
When you identify in the Bible, when you read the Bible, you're going to realize the so-called white man, everybody got a nationality in the Bible.
That's right.
White man is called Edomites. That's their biblical nationality. That's Genesis 25:25. Go ahead.
And the Ishmaelites,
Israelites too. They don't really care for you either.
Moab,
Moab is the Chinese man.
Hagarenes,
The Hagarenes are Africans. Those, when you don't, in school, when you were saying your people sold your people into slavery, no, that was the Africans selling Israelites into slavery.
That's right.
Right?
Gabal,
Gabal is more, those are Africans.
and Ammon,
Ammon is the Japanese man.
Amalek,
Amalek is the man that stole your nationality, saying that he's the Jew.
That's right.
You're the true Jew. Go
and the
ahead.
Philistines,
The Philistines are more Africans.
and the inhabitants of Tyre.
Tyre, almost, those are more Africans.
Ashur also is joined with
Syrians,
them.
they all join with them.
That's right. They have hope in the children of Lot.
Selah. All of them came together to
Selah.
take your nationality.
That's right.
Give me Genesis 32:27. Let me show you why they came to take it from you.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 32, verse 27.
I done proved that the kingdom of heaven is for the Israelites. Let me show you why they took that name, though.
And he said unto him, what is thy
Now,
name?
this is our forefather Jacob fighting with an angel, right? He said, what's your name?
And he said, Jacob.
Uh-huh.
And-
Jacob means trickster or
That's right.
supplanter, right?
And he said, thy name shall be no more Jacob,
He said, your name ain't going to be called no more trickster or supplanter, right?
but Israel.
But Israel. Now, watch what he said, what it means.
For as a prince has thou power with God
Uh-huh.
and with men, and has
He
prevailed.
said you're a prince that have power with your brother and with him, and you prevail, and you win. That's why they took that from you.
That's why
they
they
don't
took
want
it
you
from
to know
us.
who you are.
That's
They
right.
want you to think you just a regular nigga.
Precept.
You way more better than that.
Precept. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4.
Hey, how you doing?
sis?
Hey,
How you
what's
doing?
going on?
And look what this says,
How
brother.
you doing?
This is the book of Jeremiah 17 and 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy heritage
He said one of the curses we're going to discontinue from our heritage.
that I gave thee.
Uh-huh.
And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
We didn't know this land. Now we're serving our enemies, right?
For ye have kindled a fire in my anger,
Broke his laws.
which shall burn forever. God, man.
That's what it is. We got to repent, keep God's laws. That's the key right now. As Israelites.